Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Unbroken Bonds, not Unbroken Bonds, Unified Minds, and my top 8 cards, my top 8 picks for that set. If you don't know anything about my channel, it's your first time tuning in, I do a lot of TCG content. Well, I do mainly TCG content. I'm going to try to start branching out into different games. I'm doing Pokemon right now. But if you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing and hitting that like button so you can see more of my future videos. But let's get right into this. Starting at number 8, we have Dragonite GX. This, I believe, is going to be a really good... It's not going to be a deck on its own, but I believe it's going to see a fair amount of play as a 1 or 2 of in some decks. Now, it has 250 hit points, and its main attack here that we're going for is Sky Judgment, 270 hit points. It does 270 damage, not hit points. 270 damage. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. Now, it costs 5 energy to get going, but they are colorless, which means you can use Welder. That allows you to get 2 per turn, which, unless you play a Lieutenant Surge's strategy, and that allows you to get 4 per turn. But let's say you Welder, that's attached 2, and then you attach 1 manually, and then you've got 3, and then you attach next turn with Welder, and you're up to 5. So it's not impossible to get on, but it is going to be a little bit hard. And the way we'll get this out is with a Lance Prism Star. And of course, to use Lance Prism Star, Pokemon has to be KO'd the turn before. Sorry, I'm having a hard time speaking here. It's just, my mind just kind of went on me there. But anyways, Lance Prism Star, you got a Pokemon KO'd, reach into your deck with Lance Prism Star, pull out 2 Pokemon, presumably this, and honestly, maybe the other Dragonite that has the supporter one, where you get to search your deck every turn for a supporter, and place them on your bench, and then you can start weldering and whatever to this. Or you can play in the Malamar build, where you can attach Psychic Energies to it. Maybe you're already playing Triple Acceleration. This is a Stage 2, so it would work. No, I may be wrong. It may only work on Stage 1s. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't thought about it. I know it has to be an evolution Pokemon. Maybe it's only an evolution Pokemon. So I believe it would work on Dragonite GX. But that's 3 energies, and then you get to discard them, so it's no big deal. Also, its GX attack isn't bad. 1 colorless energy, and it's basically a glorified Sightseer. You get to discard as many cards from your hand as you want, and then draw until you have 10. So really good GX attack on top of that. It is going to be difficult to get out, that's why it's number 8, but once you get it out and get it powered up, it is going to smash through every Pokemon that is relevant in the TCG right now. Next up at number 7, I have Garchomp and Giratina GX. Now, this one, it's kind of a toss-up if you want to play Ultra Malamar or Garchomp Giratina in your deck. 270 hit points, 3 retreat costs. Its first attack for 1 colorless energy does 40 damage anywhere on the bench. Anywhere on the field. So what that means is if they bench a Ditto Prism Star, this thing is just going to kill it. If there's a Regizard on the bench, 40 damage, and then you hit it with its Calamitous Slash attack next for 1 Psychic, 1 Fighting, and 1 Colorless. Does 160 plus 80 if there were damage counters already on the Pokemon you attack. So if something has damage counters on it, then it does 240 damage. So amazing attack there. You just have to do a little bit of setup with its linear attack. So it's kind of a toss-up if you want it to be, if you want to play Ultra Malamar or Garchomp and Giratina. This has more hit points, but if it does go down, then you have lost 3 prizes instead of 2. But that is number 7. Number 6, I have Giant Furnace. Now, this card right here is basically a free welder. So once during your turn, you can discard a card from your hand, search your deck for 2 fire energies, and put them into your hand. Sorry, throat's a little dry. Put them into your hand. So basically, put it up there, discard a card, draw 2 fire energies, and then welder them straight onto, say, your Dragonite GX. It's really good. We're gonna make fire decks even more consistent. Being able to get those fire energies out whenever you need them is amazing. And that is number 6. Number 5 is Naganadel GX. Now this is the new one out of Unified Minds. Almost said Unbroken Bonds. Unified Minds. 210 hit points, 1 retreat cost, weak to Fairy because it is a Dragon type. But this card is going to see a lot of play. It's basically the new Zoroark GX. Once during your turn, In other words, once with this Pokemon, you can have 5 of them out here on the bench. But once during your turn with this Pokemon, you may discard an Ultra Beast from your hand if you do draw 3 cards. So think trade from Zoroark, only you get 1 extra card, but you're limited to only discarding Ultra Beast. Basically, Buzzwole for Hermosa, Xurkitree, you know, just regular Buzzwole, just discard it, and you get to draw 3 cards. It's a super good card. I think it's going to see a lot of play on its own. Also, its attack is really good. 1 Psychic Energy, 3 Colorless Energy, so triple acceleration. That's 2, if I can get my fingers right, 2 attachments, 1 Psychic, 1 triple Colorless Energy, or triple acceleration energy. You get to do 170 damage anywhere on the field. The Dene GX is going down, Tapu Lele is going down. If you're playing an expanded Shaman, you know, anything like that, it's just gone. And if you play a Koga's Trap with this, you can even hit for 180 and just knock everything out. It's an amazing card. And next up, we have raichu&alolanraichu GX. This card is going to see, I believe, at least a 1-of in every Zapdos Pick-a-Rom deck. 260 hit points, 2 retreat costs. It is weak to fighting, so that is a little bit of a bummer. But its first attack does 80 damage for 2 colorless, or 2 lightning and 1 colorless. 80 damage unless you became active this turn, in which case it does 80 more damage, so 160 total, and your opponent's active Pokemon is paralyzed. That means with the way we have switching nowadays, that means you're likely to get him stuck in the active, because now we basically only have switch to switch our Pokemon out. When you're paralyzed, you can't retreat manually, so there is that. Also, its GX attack is pretty good. Also, 2 colorless energy, 2 lightning energy, 1 colorless, plus it does 150 damage unless you have 2 more lightning energy attached, and then it does 100 extra damage, and you get to switch to the bench. So basically, it's a hit and run Pokemon that does 250 damage with 5 energies attached. Really good Pokemon. I think it's going to see at least 1 to 2 of in every Pick-a-Rom deck. Next up, we have our first trainer card, and this is Cherish Ball. This card right here in Expanded is broken. In Standard, it is broken. This card right here is amazing. It says search your deck for a Pokemon GX, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So think Ultra Ball for GX Pokemon without any downsides. There's no discarding. You just, hey, search your deck for a Pokemon. Super busted. Love this card. It's going to see a play in every deck. 1, we're losing all of our ball search, and 2, you would play that over Nest Ball. Well, maybe not over Nest Ball because you still want your non-GXs, but you may play 2 Ultra Ball, 2 Cherish Ball. It is definitely a good card. Next up, we have Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX. 270 hit points, 2 retreat costs, a weakness to Psychic. This card is amazing, and its ability is the best part about it. This Pokemon can use the attacks of any Pokemon GX or Pokemon EX on your bench or in your discard pile. You still need the necessary energy. So basically, you slap him into the active, you welder onto him, or you Psychic Recharge onto him, and then you just look through your deck, or through your discard, and you find your Dragonite GX, and you hit that Sky Judgment for 270 damage. It's amazing. You can also use the GX attacks of these Pokemon, or whichever Pokemon's in your discard. So a lot of the Pokemon that, say the stage 2s that we would normally, they don't see a lot of play. You just discard them, say with Giant Furnace or Viridian Forest, and then you're able to use this guy right here to use their attacks, like the Solgaleo that does 120 damage for 2 colorless energy, plus accelerate 2 energy from the discard. Perfect with this card right here. Perfect use for that card in this deck. You slap him in there and discard him, and don't ever worry about him again, because you're going to use Mewtwo and Mew to use his ability. Now, the number 1 card I have in this format, that come out in Unified Minds, is going to be the number 1 card in Standard, period. It's going to see at least a 2 of in every deck, and if you're not playing it, you're probably losing, and that is Reset Stamp. Now, what this says is your opponent shuffles their hand into their deck and draws a card for each of their remaining prize cards. So let's say they got the early jump on you. They hit you for a lot of damage. I mean, they knocked out your tag team, right? They dropped themselves down to 3 prizes. Maybe they hit you with a Pick-a-Rom, took 5 prizes, and they have 1 prize left to take. You hit them with a reset stamp, bam. Now they're stuck top decking. So they can only draw one card because they only have one prize left. So that means they're stuck drawing every turn like this, trying to get a supporter so they can draw again. And hopefully they don't draw into that supporter. If they do, well, then that's just the way it works. The game is terrible that way sometimes. But anyway, guys, that is my top 8 list for Unbroken, or keep wanting to say Unbroken Bonds, but it's Unified Minds. That is my top 8 list for Unified Minds. I think all these cards will see some play. I know these right here will. I'm really hoping this guy will, because that is just an amazing attack if it can be pulled off. But that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, please like, subscribe. If you're not new here, thank you for coming back to my video and taking the time to watch it. Please leave a like, please leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys, and we'll see you next time.